What's going on, guys? We're back with another YouTube video today on the We Know Ball channel. We're going to be testing out our baseball knowledge to the best of our very ability. I felt like in the spirit of opening day starting, Major League Baseball 2024 getting officially underway with all 30 teams, combined with some content on our YouTube channel that we can put out on a more regular basis, on a semi-daily basis. And it's a little bit more unique to that degree because, as you know, if you've seen any of our videos in the past or some of our content, We Know Ball, right? That's the name of the channel. We have a We Know Baseball podcast as well. And in those terms, when you're going to claim something like We Know Baseball or my Twitter handle, Ryan Knows Ball, you got to test that knowledge and at least prove it to some degree. We have 3 different ball knowledge daily refreshed tests. It's a mouthful. But the point being, we've got the Immaculate Grid right here. If you've seen any of our content in the past or you don't know anything about the Immaculate Grid, doesn't matter. You'll catch on pretty quickly. But this is a baseball knowledge test where you have to match corresponding players with overlaying categories. You'll get to see it pretty quickly. The next game is Swingle or Swingle. I'm not sure the actual phonetic pronunciation on that, but it is a similar concept to Immaculate Grid. It's just more of a tile shift type situation. And then last but not least, we have the Batter Up app. If you aren't familiar with this one, you'll catch on pretty quickly. But basically, they black out a silhouette version of a player swinging, and you have to guess who it is. It's just the silhouette of the guy. You can't see jersey, you can't see background, you can't see anything. You got to guess who it is. And it gives you some hints and categories, kind of like Wordle, you know, with the greens and yellows. You'll get the point too as well. But we're going to kind of speed run it today. And we've got a 5-minute timer over here on the right side of the screen. We're going to give ourselves a 5-minute timer for the Immaculate Grid. We're going to give ourselves a 5-minute timer for Swingle. And then Batter Up app is just going to be as quickly as we can do it. It's a speed run, but it's not like pull your hair out, go crazy, lose your mind speed run. It's just, let's do this as quickly as we can, as swiftly as we can without losing our cool. But figured I'd integrate all 3 of these games since I play them on a daily basis. And a lot of times they don't take as long as 5 minutes, right? So it's like, oh, as much as you guys would love to see me speed run an Immaculate Grid, oh, it took me 1 minute and 18 seconds. Nice, cool, super engaging video. Like, no, we'll get multiple games in and, right, just full test of the knowledge. Let's get some people exposed to some of these other games. So without further ado, Immaculate Grid today, March 27th, 2024. I don't know the number of it, but we're going to click on the link. I'm going to close this out. Looks like it is Baseball Grid 360. We're going to start the 5-minute timer and away we go. Okay, so Cleveland and Texas, Houston, Washington, left field 2000 Ks. So Cleveland, Texas, first guy that comes to mind is Austin Hedges, World Series champion. Austin Hedges. Cleveland left field, Texas, Houston, Texas, Washington. Okay, so let's see. Washington left fielder. So we've got some names, like we could pound these out pretty quickly. Obviously, Washington left fielder, Soto, 12%. That's actually not that high. Nationals with 2000 career Ks. That's Scherzer. That one's going to hurt a little bit. We'll go Verlander for 2000 Ks there. And we'll go Bob Feller for Cleveland 2000 Ks. So the pitchers are out of the way. The percentages, again, not that low, but it's all right. Cleveland left field, played left field. Cleveland 1 game. I mean, I guess we can just do who we did, who's starting for them now. Stephen Kwan. Houston played left field for 1 game. JD Martinez. Look at this. 1%. Love it. Texas and Houston. Okay. I know there's some overlapping guys in this, most certainly. Texas and Houston. Let's take a little bit of time to think about this one. Ooh, I got a good one. Actually, I don't know if he played on Texas. I was going to say Alex Rios. Weird name to kind of pop into my head. I feel like he did play in Texas. Anyways, take a sip of coffee. We'll think about it. Texas and I know I'm missing a ton of probably pretty obvious people. Texas and Houston. Let's see. Let's move on. Texas and Washington for now, right? Let's move on. Or I guess we could try to get both of them. Texas and Houston. Texas and Houston. Think about maybe some outfielders. Let's see. Rougned Odor, no. Think of maybe more current guys. Texas guys. I like to think about a lot of those World Series teams. Here's one. I think Lance Berkman played for both of those teams. He did. 4%. Okay, we'll take that. Think about like the World Series a lot. I just think about the most prominent players at those times, right? Last but not least, Texas and Washington. So we'll think about the Washington one first, because that's more recent success with that team in terms of the World Series championship. I guess Scherzer could have worked there too. I bet that's the number one answer. Let's see. Okay. Washington World Series team. So we could go through the list. As Drupal Cabrera, no. Zimmerman, no. Gomes, no. Kurt Suzuki, no. Trey Turner, no. Rendon, no. Soto, Adam Eaton. I feel like Drupal Cabrera might have. I feel like Will Harris, the oh wait, he was Houston. I know this Drupal Cabrera played in Cleveland. There's got to be some overlap here though, right? I wonder if Vlad Jr. works here. Let's try, or Vlad Sr. rather, Vladimir Guerrero Sr. because he played on the Expos. Does that work? Yeah, the Expo. Oh, no, this is definitely gonna work. Vladimir Guerrero. Yeah, okay, 10%. Cool. So with about 38 seconds left to spare, we worked out this is our immaculate grid. We'll quickly just take a look at some of the number one answers. Yep, Scherzer, Jordan, Nolan Ryan. Yeah, okay. So a rarity score was 144 for today. And yeah, that was our grid. 144. We got some high percentages in the pitcher column, but immaculate grid 360 is completed. Moving on to Swingle. If you aren't familiar with it, doesn't matter. We're going to dive straight into it. You got to click daily up here in the top left corner. And wow, we have a really interesting grid. So you got to swap these players and teams and stuff around. You have 30 swaps to work with. So you got to kind of get into it. We got a 5-minute timer. You have a limited number of swaps and we're on a 5-minute timer. So if there's more than two or more teams, what I like to do is kind of give them each their own spot. And as we move these around, a bunch of things have already lit up. So we got to match the players in the corresponding columns, and we got to make sure that each one of these teams gets their own deal or situation, right? Because the Yankees get their own row. Anyways, you'll see what I'm talking about. So Phillies right now already has Bryson Stott. We'll do this and we'll put Real Muto, Stott, and Schwarber. Those three were on the Phillies at some point. Looking around here at any other overlaying players that were on the Phillies. Didi Gregorius. Okay, so Phillies row is complete. Moving on to the Rockies row. We know Charlie Blackmon. We know Matt Holliday. Okay, so this is the Cubs up here, right? This has to be the Cubs up here. I'm not sure there's any open. I guess we'll figure it out. Let's see. So we're going to put Spencer Torkelson in the Tigers column. Chris Bryant, Rockies. Okay. Other Rockies, Elias Diaz. Yep. And then maybe Randall Grichuk. Okay. So we've got the Rockies row completed. We've got the Phillies row completed. Moving on to the Tigers row. So Torkelson and Jeimer Candelario, Javi Baez. Now you can see here, this is a dark yellow. So we've got 4 out of 5 in this row as well. And then John Jay's got to be a Cardinal. Higashioka, Donaldson, and Aaron Judge on the Yankees. And this is Eduardo Rodriguez and Rizzo. Now, what I noticed in the last one, and we have 2 minutes and 50 seconds left here, is that the last thing you got to do is match a corresponding column. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap these Phillies over here, and all you have to do is line up one other corresponding row in the other direction, because these are all lined up horizontally. You got to line up one row vertically on 5 players, or some cases it can be 4 players in a team that played on the same team. This to me looks like the Cubs right away, and I think we had that kind of row light up earlier, where we had Javi Baez right here, Kyle Schwarber right here, Chris Bryant right here. So there you go, and these yellow outlines pop up next to it. This is going to be Jason Hayward, and this is going to be Anthony Rizzo. You win. There's the completed puzzle. So the 6 teams in this case were the Tigers, Phillies, Rockies, Cardinals, Yankees, and Cubs. And you can see the corresponding rows. It doesn't mean every row has to line up vertically. Just one other row has to line up vertically if you went with the horizontal approach, which is what we did. So obviously, like Tigers and Phillies, those are 2 different teams. Doesn't matter. We got the Tigers row, Phillies row, Rockies row, Cardinals row, Yankees row, and then Cubs column. So yeah, pretty fun, pretty interesting. We got that one done relatively quickly, relatively easily. That is game number 2, done and finished. And last but not least is our batter up game. This is a silhouette of a player. You can kind of see the rules right here about how to play. It gives you clues or answers at the bottom. As we take a look here at this archive, this is the 27th. Yeah, that's today. Looking at this swing, I can already tell you who it is, and it's Austin Riley. Austin Riley is our click and our guess, and that is correct. So we got all 3 of these games done in about 12 minutes, a little bit less than that, probably about 10 minutes, which is exactly why I wanted to do all 3 in the same video. Really enjoyed this. I like kind of testing out my knowledge and going quick pace, short to the point, speed a little bit. But this is a really fun game for those of you who don't know. It's got, again, this is like, as you can see, it's got the archived. It shows the actual clip, the actual swing, and then here's the silhouetted swing itself. And you can go back in the archive and look at all the previous ones, similar to the Immaculate Grid, right? You've got like yesterday's was this silhouette swing, the 26th. This was Seiya Suzuki. And it's cool because then you can guess it, you get it right, and it shows you the silhouette swing. If you go back even further to just really quickly, 25th, this one was Dalton Varsho. Yeah, so if you guess, you know, something close to it, where like Dalton Varsho's on the Blue Jays, but you saw a left-handed swing and you were like, oh, I guess I'm going to go Kevin Kiermaier is my guess. It shows you, oh, Blue Jays is correct. AL East is correct. Country of origin is correct. Age is not close. Position is close. And his jersey number is not close. So you get these clues and hints, and you get up to, it looks like 6 guesses here. So it's a pretty fun game. But ultimately, we were able to get Austin Riley pretty quickly. How do I go back to this one? Let's see. Archive, play now. That was our old one. Oh, don't want to open their Twitter. I guess you can if you want to. But yeah, today's was Austin Riley. Let's make sure we get that back up again of Austin Riley. And if you're asking or wondering, like, how do I know that? I don't know. All knowledge, right? It's up here. You just got to have it. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. I guess it was kind of the load, right? And the finish, because that could look like right there. That could look like any other right-handed swing. But when you see the hands kind of cock, semi-decent leg kick, again, all that is pretty generic, but Austin Riley likes to get his arms extended, and then he does kind of stand upright after the swing and pull that back leg through. Maybe it's that little pump too with his hands. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's like that. Yeah, he's kind of like pumping his hands. Anyways, ball knowledge is through the roof. We go 3 for 3 on the Immaculate Grid, swingle, and batter up. It's as easy as it comes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys enjoy sports content, baseball content, any content in general. Check out our podcasts, We Know Ball and We Know Baseball. Check me out on Twitter at Ryan Knows Ball. And otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.